Hi, welcome to Flute. Up now we're going to do part 3 of our Emeline series. This time we're going to be looking at different settings and different options for flutes and other lead instruments. So first of all, in the first part of this series, I showed you one possible setting, and that's basically a C setting. And we did it on this flute, which is a key of C cliff dweller flute, and it sounded like this. Okay, and I should say there's going to be some wrong notes here going back and forth to all these flutes, and the point is not to have a perfect rendition today, but just to kind of see what's possible. So if we stick with this C setting, you should be able to play with basically any C instrument or non-transposing instrument. So here's another option. This is a Xiao. So let's see what that would sound like. And I'm going to kind of skip around to some of the parts just to get a feel for how they would fit on the instrument and what they would sound like. So let's give this a go. Yes, that's a very good option. Range fits very well. The fingerings are pretty good. It's not a whole lot of tricky technical passages, so that's definitely an option. Now let's see. It says C instrument, so the concert flute is usually considered a C instrument. And I don't have a real concert flute. Well, I would if I put the regular head on this, but I can't play it. So this is the RKF Philharmonic, which is a concert flute with a Native American style flute head on it. So you would think that this might be a good candidate, but let's see what happens if I try to play this in a C setting. I'm just going to stop there. So the problem with this instrument in this setting is that high C note, take that first run, you're going E, D, C, B, and that is right across the octave break. And that C note, you either have to play with a double key, which is kind of right in the middle of these 3 single keys, or flip down to the little octave and some other stuff. So I'm sure it can be done. I can't do it. So, but the other thing to think about here is, what did Kenny do? Kenny's playing a soprano saxophone, which is a B-flat instrument. Has pretty close to the same fingerings as this concert flute. So that brings up the question, well, what setting is Kenny playing in? And I'll show you, it's this. Okay, so since he's playing a B flat transposing instrument, the music for that is going to be a step higher than the first chart I showed you. So it's going to be notated in D, and let's see what that sounds like, at least the first phrase or so. And I fumbled notes there, and I warned you about that. But right away, you can see it fits the technical aspects of the instrument much, much better, because now you're going from F sharp down to C sharp. C sharp is a single key, so that little phrase just fits so much better. And I won't try the rest because it doesn't work too well for me at this moment. But you can see why Kenny chose that particular setting for saxophone rather than the C setting. Okay, let's say you wanted to play this on a whistle. Well, first of all, if you take either, well, let's just try it. So let's try the C setting here. Okay, so it's not bad, especially the A part fits pretty well. Once you get into the key change in the second part and you start hitting half holes that you need to do it, it's not so great. Now you want to try D, because that's even worse, because you've got two half holes just in the key signature, and then you've got other accidentals. So, but what I will do, let's just go ahead and take a look at a B flat setting. Okay, is this any better? Well, on first glance, it looks kind of nasty too, because you've got B flats and E flats in the signature. But I wanted to look at that just to see what happens, because this particular instrument has a low, what I would call B flat. It's actually an A plus G, right? So that flatted seventh, or what I would call B flat in whistle land, it has that note on there. So if I put it in a B flat setting, it should be able to make use of that and maybe make things a little easier. So let's kind of see what happens with that. And it starts getting squirrely. So it doesn't really work too well for that. Now, of course, one of the things is practice would make all these a whole lot better. But this is kind of the process I go through when discovering a new song and just trying to work out where does it fit on the flute, what technical issues are there between octave breaks or half holes, cross fingerings, all those kind of things that would make it sit more or less well on a particular instrument. So what are my options here for the full? I think I'm pretty much going to have to stick with the C setting and either the Xiao or the Cliff Dweller, like we did in the very first playthrough in part 1 of this series. So I'll make a choice, and then we'll come back next time and look at ukuleles and bass parts to fit the flute selection. So that's all for now. Thanks.